But let's move in now to our final topic for tonight, which is the notion of preparing our learning environments. We see here the metaphor of applying primer. You know that if you're going to paint a room in your home, that there's a lot of preparation that goes into that. You need to scrape the walls and spackle them and sand them and wash the walls and put down tarps and tape all the edges. A lot of preparation goes in to preparing the environment. Well, the same is true of teaching our lessons. I really encourage you as a catechist to take advantage as much as you can of preparing the space that you're teaching in. Now, I'm speaking from very real experience here. I teach 8th graders in a science room, okay? So I don't have a nice little cozy chapel-type room or anything that I'm teaching in. It's a science room, and so I have to go in there and prepare the environment and transform it from what feels like a science room to a faith experience. What I'd like you to keep in mind is another image, another metaphor, and that is thinking about having people over for dinner. You know, when you have people over for dinner, you go through lots of preparation to express to the person that when they arrive, that they can see that this is a special occasion. We've been waiting for your company. We're longing for your company. Something very meaningful is going to happen here, and we've been looking forward to this. The same should be true of our learners when they arrive. They should walk into a space that says, gosh, I was really waiting for you to come and preparing for this experience. It's going to be something very special. So let's talk about some of the ways that we can make this the learning environment something special and prepare for what's about to happen. Well, the first thing is simply making sure that we have a neat and clean space. You know the old saying that cleanliness is next to godliness, and I think neatness is the same thing. If we provide a neat and clean space, that really helps to communicate a calming effect. It helps people to keep focus. It takes away distractions. So anything we can do to prepare the space so that distractions are removed and that it looks like this is neat and clean and prepared for them. You hate to go into a restaurant, sit down at a table, and find it messy, don't you? You just feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to stay here. So we don't want our learners coming into a messy space. Second thing you can think about is preparing your seating arrangement. I generally get into the room I'm teaching in, and I move the tables and chairs to the side, and then I set up a kind of a horseshoe of chairs to create a more welcoming arrangement. I want the 8th graders coming in to feel like this is not science class or any other class they're coming into, but a faith-sharing experience. So think about how you can arrange the tables, chairs, desks, whatever you have, knowing that you got to put them back. Okay, that's a lesson I learn every year. Sometimes I get notes from the teacher who uses that room that I didn't put things back in the right way, and mea culpa. That's something that I need to work on to respect the person who uses that room during the day. Another thing you can do to prepare your environment, provide name tags, especially the first day that learners are coming. It communicates that they're special, that you've been waiting for them, that they're going to be a person and not just a number, and that you respect their name and you intend to get to know the names and get to know those names. That's a very important role or strategy for us as catechists. The next item is something that I think is the most important. Creating a prayer center. Now that's what I have a picture of that I've provided here that you can take a look at so you can see what we're talking about. A prayer center is something very simple. This is simply a little table with a Bible on it, a cross, a candle. Now you got to check for fire regulations. Some places do not allow candles to be lit. That didn't stop me. I went out and got a battery-operated candle. Maybe a cloth on the table that signifies the color of the liturgical year, an icon or a statuette, anything that indicates the sacred. We wanted to communicate to the learners who are entering this space that something sacred is happening here and that God is the focal point. And it's very important for the role of prayer that we're going to be taking a look at next week. Let's look at a few more, and then we'll be taking questions in a little while. Take advantage as much as you can of the opportunity to display posters or pictures or sacred objects, especially if you're teaching young people. Young people are very visual, and let's not forget the fact that the Catholic faith is a sacramental faith, which means that we teach not only in words, but in signs, symbols, and images. And so displaying images in our rooms reinforces what we're teaching. Take advantage of the chalkboard or the easel, the wipe-off board, the overhead projector. I know a catechist who would get there early and she would write lists on the board of the things she was going to be teaching. In this way, she didn't have to do it while she was teaching. She didn't have to turn her back and write things. They were all prepared there on the board so she can begin teaching and simply point to them. Organize your supplies. We often have a bevy of supplies as catechists, and if we don't have them together in one place, that could be a disaster for ourselves. So get a big Tupperware container or Rubbermaid container, whatever you want to call it, and organize your supplies and have that ready at your fingertips. Use technology as well. We want to make sure that we are using DVD players, CD players, and so on, because our young people learn in these ways, and we want to be able to incorporate them into our lessons. But get there ahead of time and make sure you know how to turn it on and get the DVD lined up, and you have the song lined up, know how the volume control works. You got to do all that ahead of time to make sure that you're on target. And finally, straighten up before leaving. Again, we need to be good stewards of our environments. We're often using a room that belongs to someone else, and we need to get it back to the way it was supposed to be.